Oh, Tory Lanez gag order. Y'all want me to talk about this stuff? All right, so I know some of y'all are holding on to hope and for faith with the Tory Lanez situation. And I think, number one, there's people invested into the situation because they're cool with Tory. There's people invested because they love Tory's music. And also people invested because they either like Meg or don't like Meg. Reason why I haven't even talked about like the recent developments, I just don't think it's going anywhere. I don't really think Tory has much more to say. Now, granted, do I 100% believe that the verdict is consistent and congruent with exactly what happened? I'm skeptical of my damn self. But do I think he has legal recourse to get out of this? I don't know, and I think no. Anytime we watch a trial and we go through the painstaking moments of jury selection, this and that, it's the same thing we're gonna do with Young Thug, right? And I don't want to speak this into existence, and I'm hoping it does not happen. But if Young Thug blows trial, everybody's gonna immediately not get excited, but talks of an appeal is gonna be like, oh, okay, he's getting out, because this is our need to want to think that there's still a W in sight. You get what I mean? So if somebody loses, oh, okay, they appeal. I just don't know what Tory's lawyers is going to really say to really get a new trial. You would have to point out some really major things that was in error during the case. And with the exception of letting Kelsey's interview be played after she said she lied on the interview, I just don't know. So what happened is that, and let me go down to Tory. Here we go. The judge lifted a gag order. Now, here's the thing. I think people want to hear from Tory and think Tory's going to say, okay, now I can talk. Yo, Meg set me up. I don't think he's going to say that, number one. But number two, we also have to be at least honest with ourselves to say the time for talking kind of ended. You know what I mean? All right, I'll just search Tory gag order. The time for talking kind of ended. And, he said he wished he would have testified, or that's what the word is coming out to say. He wished he would have testified. But we still have to keep in mind that in cases like this, it is not even usual to testify. The only thing I've came away from this case and took is that Rock Nation is super powerful. Secondly, I probably need to see the entire transcript myself to kind of like make up my mind, because if I go off the word of like Milagros and the couple lawyers that weren't operating in a legal sense, but they were just kind of being news aficionados, they all said that Tory should have been found innocent. Then some other people tell me, bro, honestly, it was just too many evidence, and the witness was testifying, or not the witness, the victim. The victim was testifying, and then the only other witness that was supposed to be on Tory's side told on Tory, saying they see Tory shoot a gun. What did you think was going to happen? So again, I'm just also not delusional, so I'm not going to be sitting here trying to like, yo, let's keep looking into this case, bro. The shit is over. I'm sorry to say, it's just over, right? And do I think Tory will have some type of recourse in trying to lessen the amount of time he gets sentenced to, or trying to find some way to get out of jail? I think he's going to try to exhaust every possibility, and I hope he does. We just seen with Kodak Black. Kodak Black exhausted, not exhausted every possibility, but they were supposed to lock Kodak Black up, and Kodak Black basically got somebody to come in and say, oh yeah, I got mixed up on the pee. It wasn't his pee. They're like, all right, let's take a sample now. And his lawyer said, we'll just go to rehab. Avoided jail. So it is what it is. I think Tory probably could avoid some significant jail time. But as far as getting the case done again, I don't know about that, bro. Yeah. Anyway, it's been nearly 2 months since the jury convicted Tory Lanez for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. The dramatic trial became one of the most discussed legal matters of the year, especially as new details surrounding Tory and Meg's relationship emerged. Megan took the stand to testify, blah, blah. Hold on. Let me just get to the important stuff. In recent months, he made several changes to the team. In mid-January, reports emerged that he hired Casey Anthony, former lawyer, Jose Baez, to help him with an appeal. Baez is closely working with Matthew Barham and David Kenner, who famously represented Suge Knight on a robbery charge that led to a probation sentence. Over the past few months, they prepared to file a motion for a new trial, beginning with postponing the sentencing date. So now, apparently, Tory's new sentencing date is going to be, here we are. Okay. Tory's new sentencing date is going to be April 10th, right? His lawyers are going to file for a motion to get a new trial. And I just think the burden of, not necessarily proof, but their argument has to be so strong. Like, a judge isn't just granting a new trial to everybody, bro. Right? It says it was never really likely that Tory Lanez would actually be sentenced today, so he had a sentence on the 28th. In addition to the motion for a new trial, his lawyers and the prosecutors are going to want to file written briefs that lay out the type of sentence they think Lanez should get, i.e., how many years in prison. Prosecutors also want to file written opposition to Tory Lanez's new trial motion. We should hear more about actual tangible due dates today from the judge instead of him saying the motion for a new trial is due the day of sentencing. That won't work. Tory Lanez's lawyer, David Kenner, is here in the hallway talking about the old times with Mona the sketch artist. Now his friends have joined him, including Michael Harris from Godfather Entertainment and co-founder of Death Row Records. Okay, so they're about to start. It says the reason there has to be a hearing today is that Tory has to waive time, as they say, i.e. agree that his sentencing be delayed and that his lawyers need more time to prepare their trial for a new motion. It's a common procedural move, but it needs to happen in person. There are deadlines regarding sentencings and how soon judges are to decide on new trial motions, but those deadlines are frequently extended. It's rare that defendants don't waive time to give their lawyers more time to prepare. The trouble comes when prosecutors object. Update: Tory's new sentencing date is April 10th. Judge Hereford has also lifted the gag order that restricted him from commenting on the case or the victim. That's not a win for Tory. The case is over. You know what I mean? Case is over. Oh, you can say what you want. The case is over. They didn't want Tory speaking during the case because they were in fear of witness tampering. There ain't no witnesses to tamper with if the fucking case is over. Now, granted, if he's given a motion for a new trial, they might reinstate that gag order. Say, yo, you can't talk about it no more because we're going to go through the trial again. But the burden of proof or the amount of just evidence you got to bring to get a new trial is going to be exorbitant. Here we go. Tory was in court wearing an orange jail garb and a black wave cap. He said, "Yes, Your Honor," when the judge asked him if he waived time regarding sentencing. The new trial motion will be heard on the 10th. If it's rejected, Tory Lanez will be sentenced. Okay? So I'm not sure if it's going to be just a one-day thing or how elaborate that presentation is for the motion for a new trial. But if it's rejected or if it's denied, Tory should get sentenced immediately. Someone who watched the trial is asking out loud why Tory can't get a new trial simply because his lawyer was terrible. And by the way, a lot of people keep saying that. There's people who hit me off the record and said, yo, Ak, I see you talking about the Tory shit and you're confused like everybody else is confused because they were hearing all these updates from the people that was in court. But trust me, bro, I was in court. I watched the thing. Yo, Tory's lawyer botched the case. He completely botched the case. You get what I mean? And now I'm hearing this. This is what Megan Cunningham is saying. Someone who watched the trial is asking out loud why he can't get a new trial because the lawyer is terrible. Okay. All right, we'll see. Put it like this. The books were cooked for Tory when Meg Thee Stallion's and Roc Nation's legal team were tapping the prosecution on the shoulder, sharing notes. So if you have the prosecutors going against you and they're being helped allegedly by Roc Nation's lawyers, you ain't winning that shit, man. They're trying to get you out of here, man. All right. Prayers to my brethren, Tory. I know y'all want him obviously to come out and say something. I'm pretty sure he's trying to weigh that against new emotions that his lawyers are filing. If he comes out and says, yo, Meg just set me up, blah, blah, I can imagine the prosecutor is going to use that to say, yo, judge, we can't give this guy a new trial because look at the public spectacle it was last time. Look at how he's handling it. You know, not that that should matter, but basically it's going to give the prosecutor more an added amount of reason to try to make sure he doesn't get a new trial. You get what I mean? So I think right now he's keeping it low. Hopefully he can get a new trial. If he gets a new trial, obviously he'd probably make a statement like, hey, the last trial was unfair and you want to get out. We'll see. Where's Milagros at? She in Houston. Where's she from? Somebody said it wasn't a public spectacle. People didn't care. What? Was a public spectacle? It's a public spectacle when there's a court case happening in a town that the entire press, like every press outlet is reporting on it like it's big news. It's public scrutiny. It's so much attention that people rather not do that a lot of times. Jack Doyo, you said, Wagwan, bro. You want to come to America? You're from Nairobi, Kenya. Come on. Okay. Prayers to Tory. As I said, I think Meg been laying low, collecting a few wins like Thanos with the Infinity Stones, and whoever she fucking punched with that little fucking thing is going to be a dub. So that's why I am cool off really getting that Meg. You know what I mean? I want no problems. Not right now. All right. The new thing coming out everybody's trying to talk about. They're trying to say Andrew Tate got cancer. Now, this is unverified, but let's entertain it, okay? So it says the American-British influencer Andrew Tate may have